This little project was actually months in the making. I said weeks in the video, but I didn't realize I started this in January and then didn't finish it until March. So it's a bit of a 2-for-1 with all kinds of stuff happening, and we're making progress. We really are. I think there's just a couple things we've got to get dialed in, some money that has to be spent, and we're gonna get things going at Everstoke. And I appreciate you sticking around to see it happen and all the struggles. Let's go. It is a very exciting day today at Everstoke, our 91 acres of raw land in the Lost Sierra. After 7 months of waiting, with not a peep from Space Exploration Technologies, we've got the Starlink satellite internet for us here out in the boondocks. I paid a $100 deposit in June, and then last week I got an email saying, hey, your Starlink kit is ready. Then I paid $498, I think it was, for the right to buy this piece of equipment. And now I will be paying $100 a month for the service. And the new dish is square, as you can see, so no cats are gonna be sleeping in here trying to get warm. How hard could it be? You plug it in, you use the app, it turns on, and you're good to go. Super simple. Our power situation right now cannot be described as plug and play. I have a solar battery generator thing, little power station. It's awesome when it's not cold. It's very cold right now. The cold kills it, even though there's sun on the solar panels. I've got to figure out a way to have more reliable plug-in power before the Starlink is even gonna work. Oh yeah, and I also have to chip out the ground here because it seems to be frozen solid and something happened where the door won't open now. Permafrost. Yeah, it looks like the ground actually did swell up from being frozen, I guess, and change the angle on this door. Every project out here has 3 or 4 layers that you have to contend with before you actually get to the project you want to do. Good enough. Okay, we've broken into the bank vault. Okay, 35 degrees inside the well house means nothing doing on the old Blue Eddy. I'm gonna hook up the generator, try to juice it up, try to heat it up in here and see what happens. The other piece that makes this harder is I can't get my van in here. There's too much ice and snow, it's too heavy, the tires are not made for this. So I would be able to use my solar generator to actually heat that up or do some other things, but I'll get through it. Got the generator going, got it plugged in. I heard a click, but this thing will not actually turn on. So let's try to warm it up, see what happens. Oh yeah, this bad boy puts out some heat. Burn, baby, burn. So here's my new plan of attack for keeping my Blue Eddy solar charger alive in the cold. These are heating pads. They get turned on when it gets cold. They can hook up to the 12 volt on the Blue Eddy itself. So basically the Blue Eddy has to keep itself alive with 2 of these little heater pads. They have sticky tape. I put them on there and everything works fine. Nothing gets burned down in a fire. Just wire them up nice and easy and we're good to go. Okay, I'm wired up and ready to go. Why not give it a little test? It's actually kind of warm inside the van though, so it needs to be cold to turn on. It's really hard to tell if they're on or not. Well, I left it for an hour and it looks like the plug fell out, so mission not accomplished. Come on, turn on. Turn on. Come on. Ah, boo. We're also doing a little fuel abatement today, limbing off some stuff and then also taking down one of the biggest trees on the property. I gotta go backwards to get it all.
Not too bad. Not too bad at all.
That's Aaron's buddy Dan on the saw there. He's been a huge help around here with quite a few different little bits and pieces during the winter. Okay, an hour later, it's up to 50 degrees in here. Man, but if the batteries are frozen solid, it's gonna probably take a lot more than that. Well, I've got the gas generator going, so that means we have electricity right now, so might as well play with this. It moved. I was inside the app setting it up. I can't be in the app and record with my phone. I was able to get an off and on connection once the STARLINK booted up, but then I ran one of these sky tests where you actually scan the sky and show all the obstructions, and it's very clear there's too many trees. I felt like, oh, this is the spot with the most sky, with the most unobstructed view, but if those satellites are lower on the horizon at all, you're really not going to be able to see them. Everything has to be kind of straight up in the air. Man, I am bummed right now. The STARLINK not working, can't get the battery to turn on. My pet's heads are falling off. Almost tripped and broke my ankle. Everything's falling apart. So now that STARLINK is gonna cost me $100 a month, I need to really get on top of getting reliable power and getting a spot where the STARLINK can actually see the sky. I think the second problem won't be as hard because now we have Dan as a friend and he can climb up a tree. He has all the proper gear. He could lop off the top of a tree. We could put our little STARLINK mounting pole on a tree and it will be up above everything. They have really long wires for the systems. So that's not as big of a hurdle as the power. The power thing is a much tougher nut to crack because our neighbors spent 25 grand on their power, just getting it across the road and all this stuff. So maybe now that they've got it, it won't be as expensive to get us on the grid. And then of course, off grid solar stuff. It's really cool. It's really fascinating. It'd be an awesome project. But the time and the money, I need to sell a kidney, take out a loan, or do something to actually kind of get this going, because now we're just at a standstill, just enough where we need to keep moving forward. So now let's fast forward a couple weeks. I'm back at Everstoke. We'll see if the STARLINK is better. We had some things going on while I was gone. Power is still going to be an issue. At least I get to go check the game cameras, and that is the best. This is like post-apocalyptic right now. I know this is very normal for most of you, but it's so quiet and muddy and gray. Hello. Ooh, can't have my solar panel getting, oops. Not the sturdiest of things. Okay, I'm waking up in the van. Let's see what we got out here. Not bad. That's actually not that much snow, but then up here, it looks nice and pretty. The air is fresh. Looks like the solar panels have about 3 inches of snow on top there. That's frozen solid. That's crazy. I am absolutely paranoid and pretty much scared about driving in the snow. I do not want to get the van stuck in the snow. My worst nightmare. So I actually parked way down below, not at the shred quarters where everybody's out there hanging out this morning. So I've got to hike in. The forecast I saw was really freaking me out about how much snow there would be. And there's been a lot, but it kind of all fell right at that moment when I arrived. And then there's been a little bit overnight, but I think there's still gonna be some more today. After reviewing the footage on all the game cameras, a few of these are just not performing well at all. So I gotta keep changing it up. I'm gonna point this one this way instead of this way. But this one here on the tripod has been performing amazing. This is a definite animal thoroughfare here. So I need to kind of trace back where they're coming from, where they're going. We have a very hardy crew of hardcore folks out here this morning working on Eric from BCPOV's latest trail creation. He's making a whale tail, and that'll be over on his channel, but hopefully I'll be able to pitch in a little bit today. I actually got a bunch of stuff that he ordered from Amazon.com, some building material that's harder to find in the old hardware stores. Aaron, Sean, and Kyle are all out here working it. So now the mission is to back the van in as close as I possibly can get it to give these guys the hardware they need. Go van, go. I missed my turn. It's hard to tell if it's actually snowing or if it's just windy and kind of stuff's blowing around.
It's snowing.
Yeah?
Yep.
You're the Canadian, you know.
From the Canadian.
Yeah. I remember when Eric was building Stone Starlet and you'd watch those videos and it's snowy and it's like, oh my God, how's he doing it? We're doing it out here. We don't care.
Oh, yeah.
It's negative 50. We can handle it.
You can see my breath, right?
But you believe negative 51.
And now to more problems that need to be solved. This big old piece of metal burst from the cold. You can see if you start to open it, it sprays, and then you open it all the way and it doesn't leak as much. So I got to figure out what part this is, replace this whole thing. Ah! Huh. I do have one of these, but this is not going to cut it, I don't think. These things are like 30 bucks each though, so I should probably just try to make this work. Cut this off, put it in, get another one of these type things, put it over here, boom, boom, bam, we're good to go. Been looking forward to this all day. Try blowing on it. It's a beautiful, sunny, frigid morning. But I'm gonna get this water thing solved. And eventually I'm gonna get this organization thing solved, but it'll be a while. Wow, look at that bust. Explosivo. So much ice in here. It's permanent. Okay, quick little trip to the hardware store, and I'm pretty sure I got everything I need. You know how that goes. Let's get this cut off first and foremost. Now this is gonna be a bit of a inexact science, but I can do my, oh, don't get stuck on there yet. I can do my best, and I can also unscrew this if I need to move this forward a little bit more. I feel like a dental hygienist. Cleaned up the threads, and I'm gonna do another fresh coat of tape and pipe dope. Belt and suspenders, they call it. This is on tight now. Gonna get my shark bite in there. Yeah. Now we're good to go. I have painted myself into a bit of a corner here. This is flexible and all, but I have to cut probably right about here, and then this isn't gonna move much, so uh-oh. I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll unscrew this. It's gonna work just barely. So now it's time to power up the old well and see what kind of continuity I have here. Things come alive real quick when the well comes on. Everything looks like it's holding well, no leaks, even though it's kind of hard to tell since everything's cold and wet in here. Now I'm gonna wrap some pipes, see if this helps at all. All right, that seems pretty nice and hopefully will save some stuff. I don't really have enough for all the rest of the stuff, but I'll get to it eventually. So the other little piece of adventure that's moved forward since the last time I was here is our STARLINK satellite. Our buddy Dan actually climbed this tree up here, cut the top off, and installed the STARLINK satellite dish. So now it has a way clear view of the sky. Unfortunately, the STARLINK cable is only 75 feet long, and this tree's a lot more than 75 feet. Look where it ends up. It's hanging right here. So I ordered the 150-foot STARLINK cable, but for now I can boot it up and see what we got. And now with a clear view of the sky, the STARLINK can do its thing when we get out the gas generator and plug it in and do all that stuff. So far so good. The speeds are pretty decent as well. And yes, the STARLINK satellite is sitting on its original base on a platform in the top of the tree. I ordered a different mount that it will be a little bit nicer inside the tree, but that's working pretty dang good. We're getting there. Things are moving. I am still perplexed and need to think long and hard about the power situation. Then we can start to unlock so many other things. But until then, I feel like we did pretty good. I've got some more ideas moving forward. Thanks for watching, you guys. I'll see you on the trail.